Watch this to see how much money you need to start Amazon FBA in 2023. So there isn't a better time to start Amazon FBA. The platform is becoming more and more popular. More and more people are buying on Amazon, and it's just becoming busier than ever. Please don't think selling on Amazon is easy, because that just isn't the case. It is a fiercely competitive marketplace. There is a huge amount of sellers selling on it, and there are many people undercutting each other in the aim of winning that all-important buy box. But today I will be taking you through the exact cost you need to get set up and selling on the Amazon platform. I'll be breaking it all down for you so you have a clear path on what is needed to start your journey to get selling online. And make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're not already doing so. We post videos every single Thursday all about Amazon FBA. So your first cost is your packaging and actually the preparation of products. So of course, if you're sending products into Amazon's warehouse, you're going to need some equipment to do this. So the first big one is a printer. You need to print off your labels, you need to print off your barcodes. There's two types of printer you can either use. You can either use a label printer, or you can just use a standard printer. I recommend just to use a standard printer which prints A4 paper. You can get label paper for these types of printer. It just gives you a bit more flexibility of what you can actually use it for. You're getting a label printer, that obviously means you can only print labels and nothing else. Now obviously, if you already have a printer, then it's not going to cost you a penny. You can take the printer cost off the price I'll give you shortly. And all these figures today are obviously variable depending on your situation. Now, as well as your printer, there are some other packaging equipment you're going to need. This includes boxes, tape, things like bubble wrap, poly bags, and obviously depending on the type of Amazon FBA you're doing, some of this you may not even need, because if you're doing online arbitrage, you can just send the products into Amazon, how they arrive to you, or if you're doing wholesale, it's all going to come packaged directly from your wholesaler as well. So for your actual printer, your packaging costs, I would say if you had to buy everything, you can do it for about $175 up to about $225. That's $150 up to £200. So your next cost is setting up your Amazon seller account. You will need a professional account. You can also get an individual account, which is free, but you have to pay extra per item. But we do recommend to pick the professional. The cost of this is $40 a month, or if you're in the UK, it's £30 a month, including VAT. This is just one of them costs, sadly, and there is no way to get around of it. You will need to pay it. So next up is going to be your software. So realistically, when doing Amazon, you are going to need some sort of software. Now that's not to say it isn't possible without, but it will make your life a lot easier. It will decrease your risk of making bad buys, and it can just save you time when sourcing products. Again, this does vary depending on the types of Amazon FBA you're doing, but most people will get started with arbitrage. So there are two main types of software which you would be looking at if you were doing arbitrage. First up is your deal analyzer. So this is what Profitl is. Then you can also look at deal finding softwares, which that's what our deal finder is. Now, of course, we do have competitors and you don't need to use Profitl, but we'll use Profitl as an example today because that's what we know best, of course. With your deal analyzer, this does exactly what it says on the tin. It helps you analyze your deals. So when sourcing products, you need to understand the data of the product. How much is it selling? What price has it been over the last year? What's your profit going to be? What's your return on investment going to be? Are there any potential issues on the product? You can't just buy a product and send it into Amazon's warehouse because it's cheap where you're buying it from and selling on Amazon's warehouse. You do need to do some further checks on the product to ensure it is actually worth selling. So with Profitl, we offer a Chrome extension, a mobile app, and a web portal, and we help people analyze their deals by giving them all the key data. And the cost of that is either $39 a month or £29 a month. If you do subscribe to a yearly plan, it is a lot cheaper. That's what you'll use to actually analyze your FBA deals. And then moving on to the deal finding part. So this is more optional. I'd say you don't have to use a deal finding software. And again, this does exactly how it sounds. It's going to help you find your FBA deals. So when you're getting started on your Amazon journey, you may be like, well, where do I look? So with our deal finder, we basically scrape all the largest websites on the internet in both the UK and the US, and we're looking for a low price on the source website and a high price on Amazon. If a product was $10 on Walmart and it was selling on Amazon for $25, that would go into Deal Finder as a potential deal. And the idea is just to save users time having to trawl through lots of different websites. As we say, using something like this is optional because of course you can just find your products yourself, but it may just help you out when first starting, just to learn the websites where to look. So our Deal Finder cost is the same as Profitl. It's either $39 in the US or £29 in the UK. But if you were interested, it does lead me into our exclusive YouTube discount code, which I'll link just up here. It will save you either 20% on monthly plans or 5% on yearly plans. So if you are looking to start your FBA journey, make sure to take that down. So the final cost we have, and probably the biggest one, is actually buying your products. If you're selling on Amazon, you do need to buy your products. It's not drop shipping, you actually own them. You send them into Amazon's warehouse. As I always say, this does vary massively depending on the type of FBA you're doing. If you're going to do arbitrage, it's going to be the lowest. If you're doing wholesale, it's going to be more. If you're doing private label, it's going to be even more than that. So we will again use arbitrage just because it is what most people will use when starting. The nice thing about arbitrage is you do have a lot of flexibility on how much you actually need to spend depending on what your budget is. You don't need thousands and thousands of dollars. You can easily start with $100, $200. Ideally, you want $400 if you can afford it, but as I say, you don't have to have that. But between $100 to $400 should see you getting set up. But the key thing here is not taking money out of your business. When you start selling stuff, reinvest all of your profits. So those are the main costs to get you set up and selling on Amazon in 2023. So let's add all of these up so you have just one price to get you started on your FBA journey. Your cost range would be between $370 up to $680, or in pounds, $310 up to about £590. That is the price range we recommend to get started on your Amazon selling journey. It really does depend on your situation. We're really talking about the arbitrage method. If you are doing wholesale, if you are doing private label, obviously you're going to need more money to spend on products, so your price to get started is going to be way higher. You might need samples if you're doing private label. All these things do add up, and that's why we recommend to get started with the arbitrage method, just because it's the easiest way to learn. Amazon FBA is hard. You're going to make mistakes, you're going to do things wrong. So if you haven't got too much at risk, if you're only spending £100 per product to start, it just allows you that little bit more freedom to make mistakes. You can learn from them, and as you get more experience, then you can start investing more in your business. So if you did enjoy that video, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. Do let us know in the comments any other videos you'd like us to make. But thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.